Alright, so I did a lot of mistakes which led to a big barrier for me to reach my maximum potential on my final BITSAT day. Back in 2021, we had only one attempt, but this year, the 2023 aspirants have 2 BITSAT attempts. So you guys have a chance to actually make a comeback in like the second attempt. In this video, I'm going to share 3 mistakes that I did. They are very minor and very negligible mistakes, but they are very impactful when it comes to your final exam and your final performance. Now, most of the times people are prepared for the exam, okay? They know stuff, they know the chapters, they know the syllabus, they know the formulae, they know everything, but they end up making very silly, very minor mistakes that impact their final score, and that leads to a very big drop. The first mistake that I want to point out is being anxious and being very distracted during a paper. Now, no matter where your paper is, no matter how the conditions are, you need to prepare and you need to learn to be focused on your own paper. Instead of looking around here and there, and instead of being affected by the type of questions that you're getting, you should actually focus on the rest of the paper and not think about what has happened. A lot of times what happens is that the initial few questions that you see when you open the paper, you're not able to solve them and you're not able to think clearly. So that ends up becoming a very big turn off, and you end up using that first 5 minutes or 10 minutes ka impact to the rest 2 hours 40, 2 hours 50 minutes of your paper. Now, my paper was in BITSGoa itself, so for me it was if I perform bad in this paper, I will never get a chance to actually come back to campus and be a student here. I was also nervous because the people around me, they were talking about a lot of things which I did not know, and that's why again it led to a lot of nervousness, and I became very scared when I was actually entering the exam hall and sitting on my seat. So if by any chance you become anxious or if you become nervous during a paper, just sit down, have a break of 1 or 2 minutes, drink some water and just chill. There are a lot of questions which you can do in the paper, and if you continue to behave this way, you'll not be able to do them as well. Now, the second mistake I'm going to talk about might sound fancy, but it's a very neglected and a very overlooked thing which affects your final score. I've spoken so much about it in the 4.club weekly mates and even in the community groups that I realized that majority of the students make this mistake. The questions in BITSAT are fairly easy as compared to JEE, and in spite of knowing things, the mistake that people make is that they are very excited, they are very in the flow, and they forget to actually check if whatever they're doing is in the right procedure or no. A lot of times you actually get the final answer, but you tick the wrong option, and that's why you end up getting a -1. BITSAT is a very tricky exam. The options also are very tricky. They might have a difference of 0.01 or even 0.1, or maybe sometimes there might be an issue with the SI units, and your 3 of the options are directly eliminated. But you're so excited and you're so in the moment and you're so happy that you're able to solve the question that you end up ticking the wrong option itself. Now, there are 2 ways to actually be more self-aware. The first one might sound cliche, and it's just being more self-aware when you're answering the paper. Question every step that you write. Question every thought that comes to your mind, and actually think if what you're thinking is in the right direction or no. A lot of times what happens is that you get an idea about solving the question, and then you just start doing it instead of thinking about it twice. That sometimes leads to a lot of unnecessary steps, unnecessary content, which again leads to time wastage, which is again affecting your final score in a bad way. The second step is to actually note down your mistakes when you're giving mock tests, and make a mistake book maybe wherein you're writing down all of the mistakes that you make, and read this mistake book every single time you're about to answer a mock test, even before you answer the final BITSAT exam. This will make you aware about what exactly is going wrong in your end, and that will make you more aware during the paper itself. If you already know what mistakes you have made in the past, let's say you made some logical mistakes, maybe you made some silly mistakes, maybe you did a multiplication error, and when you read that book, you become very much self-aware. You have some guilt, and when you are answering the final paper, you tend to become very aware about where you might go wrong. Even if you have given some mock tests till now, I would recommend you to check out 4.club. It's the most relevant BITSAT test series out there. This time I'm not even saying this because a bunch of students from BITS Pilani have made it, but because the people who are a part of this club have performed so well in the exams. They've also dropped a review for us on Quora. You can go and check that out in the description. So many of them scored above 300. So many of them scored above 280. Many people scored above 250. They said that the paper was very fairly relevant to their final BITSAT exam, and because they answered the mock tests very seriously, they were very well prepared for the final exam. The mistakes that I'm mentioning in this video are often overlooked, and you can only come to know about them if you talk to a senior, if you talk to a few people who have actually gone through the process. That's why the mentorship that is provided to the students in Photo Club is actually changing and impacting their final scores, impacting their life in general. Previously we were giving you only 10 mock tests, but upon a lot of requests we increased it to 10 plus 5 mocks. You will be getting 10 mocks when you join the mock test, but if you want those 5 free mock tests, we'll tell you what you have to do once you join in. We are literally going to have one weekly meet today, and I'm so excited because there are so many more students, and there will be so much more fun in the meet. Do check out the link in the description, and yeah, I mean, you have 20-25 days, but you can still make a very significant score jump if you join Photo Club. The third mistake that I did was to do revision during the last 1 hour of 40 minutes before the paper. The 2-year preparation that you have had is enough. This last 2-3 hours can't really make a very big difference. There is not going to be anything new that you'll be learning in this last time. So I remember when I was going to my BITSAT center, I was revising organic name reactions in the car. And what happened was that when I was just about to enter the center, the things got messed up in my head, and I was just rethinking ki ye exactly kya tha, wo exactly kya tha, and things got messed up in my head. They got jumbled up, and that's why I became even more nervous, because the things that you do in the very end moment, they often lead to less clarity and more confusion. So I'll say during the last 2 or 3 hours, just chill. If there is some minor thing that you want to just check from the book or from anywhere, just check that much. Don't really go deep into revising and go deep into studying. Also, because I was in the last shift, I ended up asking my friends about what their scores was, how their performance was, and I was like, ये तो मेरे जैसे ही पढ़ते थे क्लास में, and इनका अगर इतना कम स्कोर आया है तो मेरा तो क्या ही होगा. And I already gave up because of their scores. So don't let this happen as well. Try to stick to your prep, try to stick to your date, and just try to stick to your preparation in general. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to highlight some overlooked mistakes that I made, and which are not really spoken about on YouTube or in general. We talk about these things in very detail in the community, but I was like, okay, maybe I can make a video about this because it's something that is affecting a lot of students and their final scores. That's pretty much it for this video. I tried to keep it short and crisp. I hope you got some learning from this video. Try to apply the things that I mentioned and try to learn from my mistakes. Let me know if this creates a change in your final score in the second attempt, and I'll be glad if I could help you in some other way. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more such content. I have a lot of videos coming up, so stay tuned. Thank you so much.